My name is Kyle Hewitt. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. In it, I just want to talk a little bit about who I am, why I do web design, and also what I think goes into a top-notch website. So right now I'm actually a master's student in philosophy at Western Michigan University. I know that has nothing to do with web design, but I do it because I love it, not because it puts a dime in my pocket, because it doesn't, which is why I do web design partially. Everybody in the world needs to make money. I had previously been making money a few years ago in retail and sales actually. I was selling jewelry in a shopping mall. But eventually that just wore on me too much. I was tired of working the nights and evenings and weekends that everybody else was out with their own family. And I decided there were more important things than just being an excellent salesman. I wanted to be with my friends and family, just focusing on those important relationships. And that's what web design has allowed me to do. And that's really why I've stuck with it. Owning your own business isn't easy, and there's lots to work through and lots to figure out. But it's been incredibly rewarding being able to be my own boss and actually focus on the relationships that are important. And the awesome thing about the kind of business that I run is that I get to help other people do the same thing. I make websites that help businesses, that help organizations and nonprofits find supporters, customers, clients, and audience, and that allows people to pursue their own dreams with their own businesses, focusing on the important things they need to be giving attention to within their own organization, as opposed to just fidgeting around with a website and constantly battling it to accomplish what they need it to accomplish. And that kind of gets into some of the more technical things that I think go into a good website. The first thing is just it has to look really good. And this is kind of where it's important to have practice. You have to know what kind of layout is going to work even on just a desktop, but then you also have to be able to sort out the layout so that it'll adjust to any device that is accessing the internet. And there are a lot of devices of all kinds of different dimensions and shapes and sizes that can access the internet, and making sure that someone's always going to see your website, which is a representative of yours at its finest, takes some doing, and I take a lot of pride in that. The artistic side is also important to me as far as appearance goes. The color scheme has to be good. The fonts or typography needs to make sense and go along with your own story's business and your logo's theme that matches your business's branding. Um, so that all has to do with appearance. There's also performance, which you need to take into consideration, which I also take a lot of pride in doing well. A website needs to load in somewhere between 2 to 5 seconds, with 5 being absolutely as slow as you'd want it to be with a good internet connection. If a website doesn't load quickly enough, or if it times out, people are just going to leave, or they're going to get distracted. They're going to think less of the amazing website that you're trying to put in front of them to ultimately sell them on the amazing organization or business that you're trying to put in front of them. You don't want load times to get in the way of that. You also need to take into consideration security. And that includes things like encryption, firewalls, IP monitoring to make sure nobody's hacking the website, and if they are trying, that they will get locked out. And those are all things that I offer in my websites, and I think it's very important that those be present. Unfortunately, those are all things that a person just starting out trying to make their own website might not be aware of, and if they were aware of them, they might not know where to start. And by the time they figure out where to start, they've devoted tons of important time and resources away from building into the rest of their business and actually making the thing run, as opposed to just putting together this kind of 24/7 internet representative of theirs. And so that's why I do what I do, is I'm able to help businesses with that. Then there's the final thing, which is visibility. A website's no good if nobody ever visits it. It has to rank high in search engine results. And that there's a lot of different SEO that goes on, search engine optimization stuff that has to happen. Not all of that is easy. It's constantly changing and evolving, and it takes somebody who is basically dedicated uh, to understanding that and parsing it all out and understanding what search engines look for, as the search engines themselves try to figure out what the internet users are looking for. It's this big, elaborate dance of all kinds of third parties that you have to take into account. And again, that's something that a small business owner might not be able to take into consideration. And if they devote the time to do it well, they are inevitably taking time away from doing other things well. again, that's why I exist, and that's why I find it rewarding to help businesses. And so, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Those are some of the things that I think are important about websites. I talked a little bit about why I do web design. Um, and I hope if you're watching this video, if you are in need of a website renovation or a new website, that I would have your consideration. Send me an email, send me a message on Upwork. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.